Are you ready to unlock the secret to attracting amazing financial abundance in 2026? Imagine stepping into your home and feeling a powerful rush of prosperity energy greeting you every single day. Yes, you can truly transform your financial destiny with just a few simple changes. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share something absolutely fascinating with you. There are specific houseplants that, when placed in your entryway, can dramatically shift your financial energy and open doors to prosperity in 2026. And I'm not just talking about a small boost here. I'm talking about life-changing abundance. Now you might be wondering why I'm bringing this up right now, at this exact moment in time. Well, here's the thing. According to ancient Feng Shui wisdom and the patterns that have been studied for literally thousands of years, 2026 is shaping up to be the most powerful year for financial energy that we've seen in the last 12 years. This isn't just random folk belief. This is based on carefully observed cycles that repeat like clockwork throughout history. Think of it like this. Every 12 years, there's this incredible wave of prosperity energy that sweeps across the world. It's like the universe lines up in just the right way to create these windows of opportunity. And guess what? We're approaching the peak of that wave right now. The crest of that energy is going to hit its absolute maximum in 2026. But here's what makes this even more interesting. We've already started seeing the effects. People who began preparing in late 2025, who started making these simple changes to their living spaces, have been sending us the most amazing messages. One viewer told us they won $10,000 on a lottery ticket. Another person shared that they received 3 unexpected bonuses from their employer within just 2 months. Someone else landed their absolute dream job completely out of the blue after years of searching. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. That's just coincidence, right? People win the lottery all the time. Jobs come and go. But here's the thing. When you start seeing patterns like this, when dozens and dozens of people are reporting similar experiences after making the same specific changes, well, that starts to look less like coincidence and more like cause and effect. And the best part, you can start preparing for this incredible energy shift right now, today, this very moment. You don't need to wait. You don't need special tools or expensive equipment. You just need the right knowledge and the willingness to take action. Let me properly introduce myself. I'm Grandmaster Lin, with over 40 years of expertise blending the ancient wisdom of Feng Shui, the powerful energy of houseplants, and the secrets of financial abundance. On this channel, we dive deep into how the living energy of plants can completely transform your space, and by extension, your life. Before we dive in, I have a small favor to ask. If you're watching this right now, take just a moment to tap that like button. It's not just about supporting the channel, although I truly appreciate that. There's a more meaningful reason behind this. You see, clicking that like button is more than a simple digital gesture. It's a deliberate, physical action symbolizing your intention to welcome positive energy and abundance into your life. By choosing to engage with this content about prosperity, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe about what you want to attract. That small movement of your finger, it's the first step toward tuning your life to the frequency of wealth and success. It might sound a bit mystical, but there's actually some interesting science behind this too. When you take intentional positive actions, even small ones, you're training your brain to recognize and seek out opportunities. It's like you're tuning your internal radio to the frequency of abundance. And hey, if you're really lucky, you might see a special hype button pop up on your screen. If that happens, definitely click it. That button only appears for certain viewers at certain times, and people who have clicked it have reported even stronger shifts in their financial situations. Consider it a little gift from the algorithm gods, if you will. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this would be a great time to do that. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. That way, you'll be the first to know whenever we release new information about attracting prosperity and abundance. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we have coming up. Now let's talk about something important. The fact that you're here watching this video right now is not random. I truly believe that. You might have clicked on this video casually, maybe it just appeared in your feed. But think about your life recently. Have you noticed anything unusual? Maybe you've been seeing repeating numbers everywhere. You know what I'm talking about. You glance at the clock and it's 11:11. You look at a receipt and the total is $22.22. Your odometer hits 333 miles exactly when you happen to look down. These repeating number patterns, they're not just quirky coincidences. In many spiritual traditions, they're considered to be messages from the universe, little signs that you're on the right path. Or perhaps you've had these odd moments where you walk into a room in your house and you feel this strange presence, not scary or threatening, but just this sense that there's more energy in the space than you can see with your eyes. A lot of people dismiss these feelings, but they can actually be quite significant. And what about your dreams? Have you been dreaming in unusually vivid colors lately? Specifically, have you noticed a lot of green or gold showing up in your dream landscapes? These colors are deeply associated with growth and prosperity in pretty much every culture around the world. When they start appearing repeatedly in your subconscious mind, it often means that you're becoming aligned with frequencies of abundance. All of these signs, the numbers, the feelings, the dreams, they're not happening by accident. They're indications that you've been selected in a sense to receive this information right now. You're being prepared for something significant. The universe or your higher self, or whatever you want to call that guiding force in your life, is trying to get your attention. It's saying, hey, pay attention, something important is coming, and you need to get ready for it. That something important is the year 2026, and the time to start preparing is right now in this present moment. So let's talk about why 2026 is so incredibly special from an energetic standpoint. If you look at what's happening in the cosmos, there's some really fascinating stuff going on. In 2026, Jupiter and Saturn are going to move into a very particular alignment in the sky. Now, you don't need to be an astrologer to appreciate what this means, but let me break it down for you. Jupiter has been known since ancient times as the planet of expansion and good fortune. When Jupiter's energy is strong, things grow, opportunities multiply, luck seems to flow more easily. It's like the universe is in a generous mood and wants to give you gifts. Saturn, on the other hand, is the planet of structure, foundation, and stability. Saturn energy is about building things that last, creating solid ground beneath your feet, establishing security that won't just disappear tomorrow. Now, usually these two energies are kind of at odds with each other. Jupiter wants to expand and grow rapidly. Saturn wants to slow down and build carefully. But in 2026, they're going to be working together in harmony. And when that happens, something magical occurs. You get the expansion and opportunity of Jupiter combined with the stability and lasting success of Saturn. What does that mean in practical terms? It means that the money you attract during this period isn't going to be flash-in-the-pan windfalls that disappear as quickly as they came. This is about building real, lasting prosperity. This is about establishing financial foundations that will support you for years, even decades to come. The most powerful period within 2026 is going to be from January all the way through May. During these 5 months, the financial energy in the cosmos is going to reach its absolute peak intensity. It's like a wave building and building until it reaches its highest point before it crests. But here's the crucial thing you need to understand. Having all this powerful energy swirling around in the universe doesn't automatically mean it's going to land in your lap. Think of it like radio waves. Radio signals are flying through the air all around you right now, thousands of them, carrying music and news and conversations. But unless you have a radio receiver that's turned on and tuned to the right frequency, you're not going to hear any of it. The same principle applies to this prosperity energy in 2026. The energy is going to be there, strong and abundant and available to everyone. but you need to set up your life, your space, your environment to actually receive it. You need to become a strong receiver, an antenna that can pick up these signals and turn them into tangible results in your physical reality. And that's where your entryway comes in. That's where the magic really begins. Let me ask you something. What do you think about when you think about your entryway? For most people, it's just the place where you take off your shoes, maybe where you toss your keys when you get home. It's functional space, nothing more. But in Feng Shui, which is the ancient Chinese art of arranging living spaces to optimize energy flow, the entryway is considered to be one of the most important areas of your entire home. In Feng Shui philosophy, the entryway is called the mouth of Kai. Kai is the word for life force energy, the vital essence that flows through all living things and through all spaces. And just like your mouth is where nourishment enters your body, your entryway is where energy enters your home. Everything good that's going to come into your life, all the opportunities, all the prosperity, all the positive connections with other people, they all have to come through this entry point first. Your entryway is literally the gateway through which your fortune arrives. Now imagine this scenario with me. Imagine that prosperity, good fortune, abundance, whatever you want to call it, imagine it as a visitor who wants to come to your house. This visitor is carrying gifts for you, wonderful things that will improve your life. But when this visitor arrives at your door and looks inside, what do they see? If your entryway is dark and cluttered, if there are shoes scattered everywhere, if there's dust gathering in the corners and old mail piled up on a table, if the energy feels stagnant and neglected, well, that visitor might just decide to go somewhere else. They might think, this doesn't feel like a welcoming place, this doesn't feel like somewhere my gifts will be appreciated. And they'll move on to the next house, the next person who's prepared a more inviting space. But on the other hand, if that visitor arrives and sees a clean, bright, welcoming entryway, if they see vibrant living plants full of life energy, if the space feels open and fresh and cared for, they're going to be delighted to come in. They're going to feel welcomed and appreciated, and they're going to be much more generous with those gifts they're carrying. This might sound metaphorical, but it's actually quite literal in terms of how energy works in your space. The state of your entryway genuinely affects what kind of opportunities and prosperity can flow into your life. Here's a mistake I see all the time. People get really interested in Feng Shui and decorating for prosperity, and they put all their attention on their living room, their bedroom, maybe their home office. They buy crystals and lucky bamboo and those waving cat statues, and they arrange everything perfectly in the interior rooms of their house. But they completely neglect the entryway. They don't think about it because they're not spending time there. And then they wonder why all their Feng Shui efforts aren't working, why the prosperity they're trying to attract isn't showing up. It's like this. Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with water, but the bucket has a huge hole in the bottom. You can pour water into that bucket all day long, as much water as you want, but the bucket is never going to fill up because it's all just flowing right back out through that hole. Your entryway is like the bottom of the bucket. If there's a hole there, if the energy can't properly enter and stay in your space, then nothing you do in the rest of your home is going to have the full effect it should. You've got to seal up that hole first. You've got to make sure your entryway is functioning as a proper gateway for prosperity. So how do you do that? How do you transform your entryway from a mundane passage into a powerful portal for abundance? The answer is simpler than you might think, and it's been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years. The answer is plants. Living, growing, thriving houseplants. Plants are absolutely extraordinary when you really think about it. They're these living beings that sit quietly in our spaces, and we often take them completely for granted. But plants are constantly working, constantly generating energy, constantly interacting with the environment around them. On a physical level, we all know that plants clean the air. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They filter out toxins and pollutants. Just having plants in your space makes the air literally healthier to breathe. But that's just the beginning. On an energetic level, plants are doing something equally important. They're taking in stagnant, negative, depleted energy from the environment, and they're transforming it. Through their natural life processes, through photosynthesis and growth, they convert that heavy, stuck energy into something light and vital and positive. Think of plants as these living energy purifiers. They're like filters that clean not just the physical air, but the energetic atmosphere of your space. Places with healthy plants just feel better, don't they? There's a reason why hospitals and offices and hotels put plants everywhere. On some level, we all instinctively understand that plants make a space feel more alive, more welcoming, more positive. And then there's the prosperity aspect. In Feng Shui and many other traditions around the world, certain plants are believed to have the power to attract wealth and abundance. Not through magic, exactly, but through the way they influence energy flow and the way they affect our own psychology and mood. When you see a thriving, healthy plant every day, it reminds you that growth is possible. It demonstrates that with proper care and attention, things flourish. That message seeps into your subconscious mind, and it affects how you think about your own potential for prosperity. But here's the important thing. Not just any plant will do. You can't just grab whatever plant is on sale at the grocery store and expect it to transform your financial life. You need to be strategic about this. You need plants that are aligned with the specific energy of 2026, plants that are powerful in Feng Shui tradition for attracting prosperity, and also plants that are hardy enough to actually survive and thrive in an entryway environment. Because let's be honest, entryways can be challenging locations for plants. They might not get a ton of natural light. The temperature might fluctuate when you open the door. They're high traffic areas, so you need plants that are both energetically powerful and practically resilient. I've done a ton of research on this, and I've narrowed it down to 6 absolute superstar plants. These 6 plants are the heavy hitters when it comes to attracting prosperity in 2026. Each one has unique properties and strengths, and I'm going to walk you through all of them in detail. Are you ready? Let's dive into the first one. Plant number 1 is the money tree, also known by its botanical name, Pakara. And yes, it's actually called the money tree. That's not a nickname I made up. In Chinese culture, this plant has been associated with financial good fortune for centuries. So why is the Pakara considered such a powerful money attractor? It all comes down to the structure of its leaves. If you look at a money tree, you'll notice that each stem has a cluster of leaves, typically 5 to 7 leaves, that spread out from a central point. The leaves fan out in this really distinctive pattern that looks almost like an open hand with fingers spread wide. In Feng Shui philosophy, this hand-like shape is interpreted as reaching out into the universe and gathering wealth from all directions. It's like the plant is constantly collecting prosperity energy and drawing it toward itself, and by extension, drawing it toward you. But there's more to it than just the leaf shape. Many money trees that you'll find for sale have braided trunks. Growers take multiple young Pakara plants and carefully braid their stems together as they grow. This creates this beautiful twisted trunk that looks almost like a piece of living sculpture. That braided trunk is more than just decorative. In Feng Shui symbolism, the interweaving represents the accumulation and preservation of wealth. It's like money being woven together, locked in place, prevented from flowing away. It symbolizes not just attracting prosperity, but holding onto it, building it up over time. Now, if you decide to bring a money tree into your entryway, and I really think you should consider it, there's an optimal way to position it to maximize its effectiveness in 2026. You want to place your money tree on the left side of your entryway as you're looking in from outside. In most homes, this is going to correspond to the eastern direction. East is associated with the element of wood in Feng Shui, and wood energy is all about growth, expansion, vitality, and new beginnings. It's the energy of spring, of things sprouting and flourishing. By placing your money tree in the eastern sector of your entryway, you're essentially supercharging its natural prosperity drawing power. You're putting it in a location where the surrounding directional energy supports and amplifies what the plant is already doing. Here's another tip that a lot of people don't know about. The pot you choose for your money tree makes a difference. If you really want to maximize the prosperity effect, choose a pot in yellow or gold tones. These colors resonate with the frequency of wealth and abundance. Gold, obviously, represents actual physical gold and currency. Yellow is the color of earth energy in Feng Shui, which relates to stability and nourishment. When you put a plant that attracts wealth into a container that symbolizes wealth, you're creating this feedback loop of prosperity energy. It's like the plant and the pot are working together as a team to pull abundance into your space. Taking care of a money tree is pretty straightforward, which is part of what makes it such a great choice. You want to water it when the top of the soil feels dry to the touch. Stick your finger into the soil about an inch or two. If it feels dry at that depth, it's time to water. Give it a good thorough watering until water starts to drain out the bottom of the pot, then let it sit until the soil dries out again. For most environments, this works out to watering about once or twice a week. But don't just water on a schedule. Actually check the soil, because different environments will dry out at different rates depending on humidity, temperature, and airflow. Here's something that might sound a little unusual, but I encourage you to try it. Talk to your money tree. I'm serious about this. Every time you water it, or whenever you pass by it, say a few words to it. Thank it for being in your space. Tell it that you appreciate its beauty. Say something like, "Thank you for being here, let's grow prosperity together." You might feel a little silly doing this at first, especially if you live with other people who might overhear you talking to a plant. But there's actually some interesting research suggesting that plants respond to positive attention and sound vibrations. Beyond that, though, the practice of regularly acknowledging your plant strengthens your own mindful connection to your intention to attract prosperity. You're not just hopping for abundance. You're actively engaging with a living symbol of it every single day. That kind of consistent, intentional focus is incredibly powerful for manifesting the results you want. All right, let's move on to plant number 2, which is the ficus, particularly a variety called the ginseng ficus. This plant has such an interesting appearance. It's got this thick, bulbous trunk that almost looks like ginger root, which is actually where it gets the name ginseng, and then these glossy green leaves sprouting from the top. In Okinawa, which is a region of Japan known for its spiritual traditions and exceptional longevity, the ficus is considered to be a sacred tree. There's a legend that spirits called Kijimuna live in ficus trees. These spirits are said to be playful and mischievous, but ultimately benevolent, bringing good fortune to households that treat them with respect. Now, whether or not you believe in actual tree spirits, there's something valuable in that mythology. It reminds us to treat our plants as living beings worthy of respect and care, not just as decorative objects. The ficus has some really special characteristics that make it ideal for attracting prosperity. The most obvious is those leaves. Ficus leaves are rounded and smooth, with no sharp points or jagged edges. In Feng Shui, this rounded shape represents wholeness, completion, and harmony. Sharp, pointed leaves are associated with cutting energy, which can be useful in some contexts, but for overall prosperity and happiness, you generally want rounder, softer shapes. Those round leaves create a gentle, nurturing energy in your space. They promote balance and peaceful energy flow. The ficus is also known for being a plant that brings stability to all areas of life, not just finances. It's associated with family harmony, good health, and strong relationships. This is important because true prosperity isn't just about money in the bank. Real abundance means having a healthy body, loving relationships, and peace of mind. The ficus supports all of those dimensions of well-being. Now here's something really interesting. There have been multiple reports and I mean a lot of them, from people who purchased a ficus and then shortly afterward won money on lottery tickets or scratch-offs. I've heard this story so many times that it's become kind of a running theme in the plant and prosperity community. We've gotten messages from viewers of this channel telling us the same thing. One person bought a ficus on a Tuesday, scratched a lottery ticket on Friday, and won $500. Another person got a ficus as a gift and won $1,000 on a scratch-off within 2 weeks. Are these just coincidences? Maybe. But when you hear the same pattern over and over again, it starts to make you wonder. My theory is that the ficus has this particular energetic frequency that aligns with the energy of unexpected windfalls. It's like it opens up pathways for luck to flow through. It turns improbable events into probable ones. There's also a physical characteristic of the ficus that has symbolic significance. As a ficus grows, it develops aerial roots. These are roots that grow down from the branches into the air, and if they reach the ground, they dig in and create additional trunks. Over time, a single ficus tree can become this massive complex of interconnected trunks and roots. This growth pattern symbolizes generating resources from seemingly nothing, creating something from something, multiplication and expansion. It's a living demonstration of abundance mentality, the idea that there's always enough and you can always create more. For optimal placement of a ficus in your entryway for 2026, you want to put it somewhere where it's immediately visible when you come home. Ideally, it should be the first thing you see when you open your door. That could be straight ahead, or it might be slightly to one side, depending on your layout. The reason for this placement is psychological as much as energetic. When you come home every day and the first thing you see is a thriving, beautiful plant, it immediately shifts your mood in a positive direction. You get this little lift of happiness. Oh, there's my plant, looking good. That positive emotional state is part of what attracts more good things into your life. Caring for a ficus is pretty easy, which is great news if you're not super confident with plants. Ficus prefer bright, indirect light, but they can tolerate lower light conditions reasonably well. The main thing they need is consistency. They don't like being moved around a lot or experiencing dramatic changes in their environment. Water your ficus when the soil is dry but not completely bone dry. Check it regularly, probably every few days, and water when needed. In most home environments, this works out to watering once a week, maybe a bit more in hot, dry weather. One little warning about ficus: they don't love dry air. If your home is really dry, especially in winter when heating systems are running, your ficus might drop some leaves. Don't panic if this happens. It's usually not a sign that the plant is dying. You can help by misting the leaves with a spray bottle every few days to increase humidity around the plant. Let's talk about plant number 3 now, which is the snake plant. You might also hear it called Sansevieria, or sometimes mother-in-law's tongue, which is a pretty funny name when you think about it. The snake plant gets its name from those distinctive upright leaves with their striped patterns that kind of look like snakeskin. But don't let the name make you think there's anything sinister about this plant. It's actually one of the most beneficial plants you can possibly have in your home, and there's hard science to back that up. NASA, yes, the space agency, has done extensive research on houseplants and their ability to purify air. They were originally investigating this for use in space stations, where air quality is obviously super critical. The snake plant was one of the top performers in their studies. Snake plants are incredibly efficient at removing toxins from the air. They absorb things like formaldehyde, which off gases from many building materials and furniture. They filter out benzene and trichloroethylene and various other chemicals that you really don't want to be breathing, and they release clean oxygen in return. What makes snake plants especially unique is that they continue producing oxygen at night. Most plants only produce oxygen during the day when they're photosynthesizing. At night, they switch to consuming oxygen like we do. but snake plants use a different type of photosynthesis called cam photosynthesis, which allows them to keep releasing oxygen even in darkness. From a Feng Shui perspective, this air purifying ability translates to energy purifying ability. When your physical air is clean, your energetic atmosphere is also clean. The snake plant clears out stagnant, heavy, depleted Kai and replaces it with fresh, vibrant, flowing Kai. This clearing effect is especially important in an entryway. Think about it. Your entryway is where outside energy first enters your home. If you live in a city, that outside energy might carry stress, pollution, noise, all kinds of hectic vibes. Even in a quieter environment, various energies accumulate in entryways because of all the coming and going. The snake plant acts like a filter, straining out the negative stuff while allowing the positive energy to flow through unimpeded. It's like having a bouncer at the door of your home, only letting in the good stuff. There's another aspect of the snake plant that makes it powerful for prosperity. Those upright, vertical leaves growing straight up toward the sky. In Feng Shui, vertical growth represents upward movement, rising energy, ascension. It's associated with advancement in career, increasing income, elevated status. If you're self-employed, if you run your own business, if you're a freelancer or entrepreneur, the snake plant is especially beneficial for you. That upward energy supports growth in all aspects of your professional life. It can help with getting new clients, charging higher rates, expanding your business, and leveling up in your field. For placement in your entryway, the snake plant works best on the right side as you're looking in from outside. In most homes, this corresponds to the western direction. West is associated with the metal element in Feng Shui, and metal has a direct correspondence with wealth, money, and financial prosperity. By placing your snake plant in the western sector, you're positioning it to intercept and capture wealth energy as it tries to enter your home. Nothing gets past the snake plant. All that prosperity Kai coming toward your house is going to be caught and held by those upright leaves. One of the best things about snake plants from a practical standpoint is that they are nearly indestructible. If you've killed every plant you've ever owned, if you're convinced you have a black thumb, the snake plant is your redemption. These plants thrive on neglect. Snake plants are succulents, which means they store water in their thick leaves. They're adapted to survive in dry environments. They actually prefer to be watered infrequently. Water yours maybe once or twice a month, and only when the soil is completely dry. The number one way people kill snake plants is by overwatering them. Too much water causes root rot, which is basically fatal. So if you're going to make a mistake with a snake plant, err on the side of underwatering. The plant can bounce back from being too dry. It can't bounce back from rotted roots. Snake plants also tolerate low light remarkably well. They'll be happiest in bright, indirect light, but they can survive in surprisingly dim conditions, which makes them perfect for entryways that might not have great windows. Let's move on to plant number 4, which is Dracaena, specifically the variety called Massangina, which is also beautifully nicknamed the corn plant or the tree of happiness. Just that name alone, tree of happiness, makes you want to have one, doesn't it? Dracaena massangina has these gorgeous long leaves that arch gracefully outward from a central trunk. The leaves are a vibrant green with a distinctive yellow stripe running down the center of each leaf. That yellow stripe is key to its prosperity power. In Feng Shui, upward arcing growth like you see in Dracaena represents yang energy. Yang is the active, expansive, outgoing force in the universe. It's the energy of sunlight, of growth, of activity and creation. When you bring yang energy into your space, you're inviting dynamism and forward momentum. That yellow stripe running through each leaf acts like an antenna or a lightning rod for prosperity energy. It's as if each leaf is designed to catch wealth Kai and channel it into the plant, and from the plant into your home. Here's something really special about Dracaena. Under the right conditions, which usually means the plant is very happy and well cared for, Dracaena can produce flowers. This is pretty rare when they're grown indoors. Most people who own Dracaena plants never see them bloom. But when a Dracaena does flower, it's considered an incredibly auspicious sign. The flowers are typically white or pale pink, and they give off a sweet, strong fragrance, especially at night. In Feng Shui tradition, if your Dracaena blooms, it means a major financial opportunity or windfall is headed your way. Get ready for an unexpected inheritance, a promotion with a big raise, a lucrative business deal, a lucky financial break of some kind. The blooming of the Dracaena is like an advance announcement from the universe that something wonderful is coming. And here's what's really interesting about 2026. According to some Feng Shui practitioners who study planetary influences on plants, the cosmic conditions in 2026 are supposed to increase the likelihood of Dracaena blooming. The specific alignment of Jupiter and Saturn that we talked about earlier apparently creates favorable conditions for this particular plant to flower. So if you get a Dracaena and place it in your entryway, pay attention. Check on it regularly. Look for signs of flower buds forming. And if you see your Dracaena start to bloom, take that as a serious signal. Polish up your resume, look for investment opportunities, buy a lottery ticket, whatever feels right. Something good is on the way. For placement, Dracaena works wonderfully in the back part of your entryway, maybe along the wall that leads toward the interior of your home. This positioning allows the Dracaena to act as a bridge or channel, taking the prosperity energy that enters through your door and circulating it deeper into your living space. Energy in Feng Shui is a lot like water. It needs to flow. If all your prosperity energy enters through your front door, but then just pools up in the entryway without going anywhere, that's not ideal. The Dracaena helps keep that energy moving, distributing it throughout your home. Taking care of Dracaena is fairly straightforward. They like medium to bright indirect light. They'll tolerate lower light, but they really thrive when they get good illumination. If you have any natural light source in your entryway, position your Dracaena where it can benefit from it. Water when the top inch of soil is dry. Depending on your environment, this might be once or twice a week in summer and less frequently in winter. Dracaena leaves can collect dust over time, especially in an entryway where there's a lot of air movement from doors opening and closing. Wipe the leaves down with a damp cloth every couple of weeks to keep them clean and able to photosynthesize efficiently. Plant number 5 is the table fern, and this is one of my personal favorites. It's got such a delicate, intricate beauty. The table fern has these intricate fronds with hundreds of tiny leaflets that create this lacy, almost ethereal appearance. The structure of table fern fronds is really fascinating from a Feng Shui perspective. Each frond starts from a central point and then divides and subdivides into smaller and smaller sections, creating this incredibly complex branching pattern. This represents multiplication and proliferation. The symbolism is powerful. One stem produces multiple fronds. Each frond produces multiple leaflets. It's a visual representation of how one opportunity can lead to many opportunities, how $1 can multiply into many dollars. The plant itself is demonstrating the principle of abundance, that good things can multiply exponentially when conditions are right. Table ferns also have a protective quality. Those thin, slightly pointed leaflets are said to cut through and deflect negative energy, not in an aggressive way, but in a filtering way. Imagine the fern as a screen that bad energy can't penetrate. It gets tangled up in all those intricate fronds and can't make it through to your home. This protective aspect is especially valuable in an entryway. You're exposed to a lot of different energies throughout your day. You encounter stressed people, negative news, frustrating situations. Without meaning to, you pick up those energies and can carry them home with you. Having a table fern in your entryway creates a kind of energetic decontamination zone. As you pass by the fern on your way into your house, it's stripping away that negative energy you've accumulated, allowing you to enter your sacred home space with a clean slate. Like the snake plant, table ferns also have scientifically proven air purifying qualities. They're particularly effective at filtering out formaldehyde and other volatile organic compounds. They also add moisture to the air through transpiration, which can be beneficial if you live in a dry climate. Healthy indoor air quality supports healthy energy flow. They're connected. When you can breathe easily, when the air feels fresh, the energy in your space also feels fresh and flowing. Poor air quality creates energetic stagnation. So those air purifying properties are doing double duty, working on both the physical and energetic levels. The ideal placement for a table fern is actually in a corner of your entryway. Corners are tricky spaces energetically. Energy tends to get stuck in corners because there's nowhere for it to flow. Stagnant energy accumulates there. By placing a living, growing plant in a corner, you're activating that dead space. The fern's life energy gets that corner breathing again, circulating energy that would otherwise sit there becoming heavier and more stagnant over time. Think of your table fern as an energetic circulation fan in the corner of your entryway. It's constantly moving and refreshing the chi in that space, keeping everything flowing smoothly throughout the entire area. Now, table ferns do have slightly more specific care requirements than some of the other plants we've discussed. They're not difficult to care for, but they do need a bit of attention. Table ferns are shade-loving plants. In their natural habitat, they grow on forest floors under the canopy of larger trees. They're adapted to low, filtered light. This actually makes them perfect for entryways, which often don't have huge amounts of natural light. Place your table fern in a spot where it gets indirect light or even fairly dim conditions, and it'll be perfectly happy. Just keep it out of direct sunlight, which can scorch those delicate fronds. The key thing with table ferns is moisture. They like consistent moisture, both in the soil and in the air around them. Water your table fern when the top of the soil starts to feel dry, but don't let it dry out completely. The soil should stay slightly moist, kind of like a wrung-out sponge. And here's the important part. Table ferns love humidity. If you live in a humid climate, your fern will probably be fine with ambient moisture. But if you're in a dry environment, especially during winter heating season, you'll want to mist your fern regularly with a spray bottle. A light misting every day or every other day will keep those fronds looking lush and healthy. The daily misting can actually become a really nice ritual. Each morning or each evening when you come home, you take a moment to mist your fern. As you do, you can speak words of gratitude or set intentions for prosperity. It becomes this meditative practice that connects you to your intention while also caring for your plant. It's multitasking at its finest. All right, we've reached our sixth and final plant, and this one is truly special. It's the maidenhair fern, or adiantum. This is hands down one of the most delicate and beautiful houseplants you can grow. Maidenhair ferns have these incredibly fine, almost hair-like stems, which is actually where the name comes from. And on those thin stems are these perfect little fan-shaped leaflets, each one looking like a tiny heart or a miniature seashell. When you see a maidenhair fern, it almost doesn't look real. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. The way a maidenhair fern moves is magical. Even the slightest air current makes those delicate fronds sway and dance. It's hypnotic to watch. There's something deeply calming and beautiful about it. In many traditions, maidenhair ferns are associated with feminine energy, with grace, with love and compassion. Now you might be wondering why we're including a plant associated with love and relationships in a discussion about financial prosperity. That's a fair question, but here's the thing, and this is really important to understand. True abundance, real wealth, is about so much more than just money in your bank account. Think about the wealthiest, most successful people you know or have heard about. The ones who seem truly happy and fulfilled aren't just the ones with the biggest bank balances. They're the ones who have rich, meaningful relationships. They have people who love them, friends they can count on, family connections that sustain them. Money without love is actually pretty hollow. Success without meaningful relationships feels empty. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're lonely, if you don't have people to share your life with, if you don't have connections that matter, what's the point of all that wealth? The maidenhair fern addresses this crucial component of true prosperity. It helps you cultivate the relationships and connections that make life worth living. And here's the beautiful thing. When your relationships are strong and healthy, when you have a solid network of people who care about you and support you, your financial opportunities naturally expand. So many business opportunities, job offers, lucky breaks, they come through personal connections. They come because someone who likes you and trusts you thinks of you when an opportunity comes up. They come because you've built goodwill with others. The maidenhair fern supports that whole dimension of prosperity creation. From a Feng Shui perspective, the maidenhair fern is interesting because its fronds grow downward and outward rather than straight up, like many of the other plants we've discussed. This downward growth is associated with yin energy, which is the complementary opposite of yang. Where yang energy is active and expansive, yin energy is receptive and nurturing. Where yang is bright and outward focused, yin is calm and inward focused. You need both. A life of all yang energy would be exhausting, all activity and no rest. A life of all yin would be stagnant, all rest and no activity. The maidenhair fern brings that yin quality into your space. It helps you slow down, tune into your intuition, listen to your inner voice. It promotes emotional balance and mental clarity. In our fast-paced, hyperactive modern world, that yin energy is incredibly valuable. When you're constantly stressed and anxious, when your nervous system is always on high alert, it's actually really hard to make good decisions about money. Stress makes us impulsive. It makes us reactive rather than strategic. The calming influence of the maidenhair fern can help you approach financial decisions from a place of centeredness and wisdom rather than fear and urgency. For placement of your maidenhair fern in 2026, the southern area of your entryway is ideal if you have a spot there that gets gentle, indirect light. South is associated with fire energy in Feng Shui, but not harsh, burning fire. Think of it more like the warm glow of a candle or the gentle warmth of sunlight filtering through leaves. That gentle warmth, combined with the maidenhair fern's yin energy, creates a beautiful balance. It's like the plant is basking in that warm glow and radiating peace and harmony throughout your space. Now I'm going to be honest with you. The maidenhair fern is the most challenging plant on this list to care for. It's not impossible by any means, but it does require more attention than something like a snake plant or money tree. If you're brand new to plants, you might want to start with one of the easier options and work your way up to a maidenhair fern. But if you're up for the challenge, the rewards are worth it. There's something about successfully caring for a delicate plant that builds confidence and patience, qualities that also serve you well in building wealth. Maidenhair ferns need consistent moisture, even more so than table ferns. The soil should never dry out completely. Check your fern every day and water it whenever the top layer of soil starts to feel even slightly dry. The soil should stay evenly moist at all times. But here's the tricky part. While maidenhair ferns need consistent moisture, they also hate sitting in waterlogged soil. You need moist but well-draining soil. Make sure your pot has drainage holes so excess water can escape. Humidity is also crucial for maidenhair ferns. They need high humidity to really thrive. Daily misting is essential. Some people even place their maidenhair ferns on a pebble tray, which is a shallow tray filled with pebbles and water. The pot sits on top of the pebbles, above the water line, and as the water evaporates, it creates a humid microclimate around the plant. Light requirements are similar to table ferns. Maidenhair ferns want bright but indirect light. A spot that gets filtered light through a sheer curtain is perfect. Direct sunlight will scorch those delicate fronds in no time. The daily care routine for a maidenhair fern can actually become a beautiful mindfulness practice. Each day you check the soil, you mist the fronds, you take a moment to appreciate the plant's beauty. It's a daily reminder to slow down, to be gentle, to pay attention to delicate things. Those qualities will serve you well in all areas of your life, including your financial life. So there you have it, 6 incredible plants, each with its own unique powers and personality. The money tree with its wealth-gathering leaves, the ficus with its stable, harmonious energy, the snake plant with its purifying and protective qualities, the dracaena with its upward-reaching, opportunity-attracting presence, the table fern with its multiplying abundance and protective filtering, and the maidenhair fern with its heart-opening, relationship-nurturing grace. Now here's a question I get all the time. Should you get all 6 plants, or should you just choose one? And the answer really depends on your space, your budget, your comfort level with plant care, and most importantly, your intuition. If you have a large entryway and you love plants and you're feeling ambitious, go ahead and get all 6. Create this lush, abundant jungle of prosperity in your entry space. There's definitely power in that approach. Each plant brings something different to the table, and together they create a symphony of abundance energy. But if your space is more limited, or if you're just starting out with houseplants, it's absolutely fine to start with just one. In fact, starting with one plant and really connecting with it, really learning to care for it, might actually be more powerful than getting 6 plants and feeling overwhelmed. Here's how to choose if you're going with just one plant. Read back through the descriptions of each plant. Which one really resonated with you? Which one made you excited? Which one did you find yourself thinking about? That's your plant. That's the one that's calling to you. Trust that instinct. Your intuition is actually incredibly reliable when it comes to things like this. On some level, maybe subconscious, maybe energetic, you know what you need. If you felt drawn to the money tree, there's a reason. If the maidenhair fern captured your imagination, that means something. Don't overthink it. Go with what feels right. If you do decide to have multiple plants in your entryway, there's an important principle to keep in mind, and that's balance. In Feng Shui, balance is everything. You don't want too much of any one type of energy. You want variety, harmony, complementary forces working together. Think about it in terms of yang plants and yin plants. Yang plants are the ones that grow upward and outward. They have an active, reaching, expanding quality. That includes the money tree, the snake plant, and the dracaena. Yin plants are the ones that grow downward or have a softer, more receptive quality. That includes the ficus with its round, gentle leaves, and especially the maidenhair fern with its downward, cascading fronds. And then you have plants that are kind of in the middle, balanced between yin and yang. The table fern fits in this category with its intricate structure that spreads in multiple directions. If you're creating a multiple plant display, try to include both yang and yin plants. Maybe you have a snake plant reaching upward on one side and a maidenhair fern cascading down on the other side. Maybe you have a money tree as your centerpiece with a ficus providing balance. Play around with combinations that feel harmonious to you. Think about it visually too. You want a variety of shapes, sizes, and textures. All tall, spiky plants would look monotonous. All round, leafy plants would lack dimension. Mix it up. Create visual interest. The more pleasing your plant arrangement is to look at, the more positive energy it generates. But here's the most important thing, more important than which plants you choose, more important than where exactly you place them, more important than any technical Feng Shui rule. The most important thing is that you genuinely care for your plants, that you give them attention and love and appreciation. Plants respond to the energy you give them. There's actually research on this. Studies have shown that plants seem to grow better when people talk to them kindly, play them music, give them positive attention. Whether that's because of some subtle energetic connection or because people who talk to their plants also tend to notice what the plants need and provide better care, it doesn't really matter. The result is the same. Love makes plants thrive. And when your plants are thriving, when they're healthy and vibrant and growing, that's when their prosperity drawing power is at its peak. A sad, struggling, neglected plant isn't going to attract abundance. But a plant that's obviously well cared for, that's flourishing, that becomes a powerful symbol and magnet for prosperity. So make it a daily practice. Every morning or every evening, take a minute to check on your plants. Say hello to them. Thank them for being in your space. Tell them you appreciate them if you need to water them or mist them. Do that with intention and care. Make it a ritual, not a chore. You might say something like, "Good morning, beautiful plants. Thank you for bringing prosperity into my home. Let's grow abundance together today. I appreciate you." It might feel silly at first, but I promise you it makes a difference. It keeps you connected to your intention. It reminds you every single day that you're actively working to create prosperity in your life. Now, before we move toward the conclusion of this video, I want to share with you a special practice, a kind of ritual that you can do to amplify the prosperity-attracting power of your plants. This is particularly potent to do as we move toward 2026, but you can honestly do this anytime. This is a visualization and intention-setting practice that creates an energetic bond between you and your plants. It aligns your personal energy with the plant's energy and with the larger flow of prosperity in the universe. It's simple, but it's powerful. Are you ready? Let's walk through it together. First, find a comfortable place to sit or stand near your entryway, near where your plants are or where they will be. Take a moment to settle into your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your weight in the chair if you're sitting. Just arrive here, in this moment, in this space. Now begin to deepen your breath. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Count to 4 as you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your lungs expanding. Feel your chest rising. Feel the air filling your body. Hold that breath for just a moment. Hold for a count of 2. 1, 2. And then exhale slowly through your mouth. Count to 6 as you breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel all the air leaving your body. Feel your shoulders dropping. Feel tension releasing. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. 1, 2. And out through your mouth for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. In through the nose, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2. And release through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Can you feel how that's already shifted your state? Your nervous system is calming down. Your mind is becoming clearer. You're moving out of the busy thoughts of your day and into a more receptive, present state. This is the state where intention setting is most powerful. Now bring to mind the plant or plants you have or the plants you're planning to get. If you already have your plants, look at them. Really see them. Notice the color of their leaves. Notice the way they're shaped. Notice the texture, the patterns, the way light falls on them. If you don't have your plants yet, visualize them. Create a clear picture in your mind. See the plant sitting in your entryway. See its leaves, its shape, its pot. Make it as vivid and detailed as you can in your imagination. Now imagine that you can see the life force energy in your plant. Imagine you can see it glowing. Maybe it glows green, the color of growth and vitality. Maybe it glows gold, the color of prosperity and abundance. Whatever color comes to mind for you, see your plant radiating with this living energy. See that energy pulsing gently like a heartbeat. The plant is alive. It's breathing just like you are. It's taking in what it needs from its environment and transforming it into growth. It's constantly creating, constantly generating, constantly expanding. Now visualize roots. Even if you can't see them because they're under the soil, Visualize the plant's roots spreading down and out through the pot. See them strong and healthy, white and vigorous, reaching through the soil, drawing up water and nutrients. Those roots are the plant's foundation, its connection to the earth, its source of nourishment. They represent stability and sustenance. They represent your financial foundation becoming stronger and more secure. And now imagine that from those roots, energy is rising. Like water being drawn up through the plant's tissues, imagine golden light rising from the roots, up through the stem or trunk, and out into the leaves. See that golden energy filling every part of the plant, making it glow even brighter. This golden energy is prosperity, it's abundance, it's wealth and opportunity and good fortune. And your plant is a channel for this energy. It's drawing it up from the earth, from the universe, and radiating it out into your space. Now here's the important part. Speak to your plant, either out loud or in your mind. Say these words and really mean them as you say them. Say, I welcome you into my home. I am so grateful for your presence. You are bringing prosperity and abundance into my life, and I am ready to receive it. Say it again, I welcome you into my home. I am so grateful for your presence. You are bringing prosperity and abundance into my life, and I am ready to receive it. One more time, feel the words resonating in your chest as you say them. I welcome you into my home. I am so grateful for your presence. You are bringing prosperity and abundance into my life, and I am ready to receive it. Now imagine a connection forming between your heart and the plant. Visualize a stream of light, maybe golden, maybe green, flowing from your heart center to the plant. This is your intention, your care, your appreciation flowing to the plant. And then imagine that connection becomes two-way. See light flowing back from the plant to your heart. The plant is accepting your care and returning blessings to you. You and the plant are in a relationship now, your partners in creating prosperity. Take a deep breath and really feel this connection. Feel the warmth of it. Feel the rightness of it. This partnership, this bond between you and this living being, this is one of the foundations of your prosperity in 2026. Now speak words of gratitude. Simply say thank you. Say it 3 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then slowly, gently, bring yourself back to normal awareness. Take one more deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes if you had them closed. How do you feel? Hopefully calm, centered, maybe a little energized. That feeling is your confirmation that the practice worked. You've established an energetic connection with your plant, and that connection is now a channel through which prosperity can flow into your life. You can repeat this practice as often as you like. Some people like to do it every day. Some do it once a week. Some do it just when they're first bringing a new plant home, and then occasionally after that. There's no wrong way to do it. Follow your intuition. All right, we're getting close to the end of our time together today, but before I let you go, I want to make sure you understand the bigger picture of what we've been talking about. This isn't just about plants, as wonderful as plants are. This is about intentionality. This is about taking control of your environment and, by extension, taking control of your life. See, most people move through life pretty passively. They react to what happens to them. They accept their circumstances as fixed. They don't realize that they actually have tremendous power to shape their reality through the choices they make, even small choices. Choosing to put a living plant in your entryway, that's a choice. It's a statement. You're saying, I believe in growth. I believe in nurturing things. I believe that beauty and life energy matter. I'm willing to put in the effort to care for something. And then, when you take care of that plant every day, you're reinforcing that statement. You're demonstrating to yourself and to the universe that you're serious about growth and prosperity. You're proving that you can commit to something, that you can be consistent, that you can nurture something from good to better. Those qualities, consistency, nurturing, commitment, those are the exact same qualities that create financial success. Nobody builds lasting wealth without consistent effort. Nobody creates a thriving business without nurturing it. Nobody achieves financial goals without commitment. So your plant becomes this daily practice ground for the skills and qualities you need for prosperity. It's a microcosm of wealth creation. You provide the right conditions, water, light, care, and the plant grows. You provide the right conditions in your financial life, consistent effort, wise decisions, smart investments of time and money, and your wealth grows. The plant is teaching you. It's showing you, in a simple, tangible way, how growth works, and those lessons transfer to every other area of your life. 2026 is going to be an extraordinary year. The cosmic conditions are aligned. The energy is primed. Opportunities are going to be flowing. But opportunities alone don't create success. You have to be ready for them. You have to have prepared yourself, your space, your mindset to recognize opportunities when they appear and to act on them effectively. That preparation starts now. It starts today. It starts with something as simple as deciding to bring a living plant into your entryway and committing to caring for it. Now, as we wrap up, I want to give you some very specific action steps, because information without action is just entertainment. You can watch this whole video, you can feel inspired and excited, but if you don't actually do anything with what you've learned, nothing in your life will change. So here's what I want you to do. Today, before this day is over, take one concrete action toward bringing prosperity plants into your entryway. Maybe that action is researching local nurseries or plant shops in your area. Maybe it's browsing online retailers to see what's available. Maybe it's measuring your entryway to figure out how much space you have for plants. Maybe it's actually going out and purchasing your first plant if you're feeling ready for that. It doesn't have to be a huge action. It just has to be something real, something tangible. Take one step forward, break the inertia, move from thinking about this to actually doing something about it. Because here's a truth about the universe. The universe rewards action. You can intend and visualize and hope all day long, but until you take physical action in the material world, nothing changes. Action is the bridge between the energetic realm and physical reality. When you take action, even small action, you're sending a powerful signal. You're saying, I'm serious about this. I'm not just daydreaming, I'm actually doing something, and the universe responds to that. Opportunities start appearing, synchronicities start happening, things start to line up. I've seen this pattern over and over again. Someone watches a video like this, they get inspired, and then they actually go out and buy a plant that same day, and within a week, something fortunate happens. They get a refund check they'd forgotten about. They find money they didn't know they had. Someone offers them a freelance gig. A job opportunity appears out of nowhere. Are these things caused by the plant? Maybe, maybe not. But the plant was part of a larger pattern of taking action and inviting prosperity. And that pattern is what creates results. So don't wait, don't put it off. Don't tell yourself you'll do it next week or next month. The best time to start preparing for 2026 was months ago. The second best time is right now, today. Before I let you go, I want to share one more thing with you. We have an amazing community here in the comments section of this channel. People share their experiences, their successes, their questions, their plant photos. It's a really supportive, positive space. And there's something magical that's been happening. People who write a specific phrase in the comments have been reporting unusual amounts of good luck and financial windfalls afterward. I'm talking dozens of people with the same pattern. The phrase is simple. It's this: in 2026, I am becoming prosperous. That's it, just that one sentence. But when you write it in the comments, you're doing something powerful. You're making a public declaration. You're putting your intention out into the world where other people can see it and where you can see it yourself later. There's something about making our goals and intentions public that makes them more real, more solid, more likely to manifest. It's like we're signing a contract with ourselves and with the universe. So I'm going to ask you to do this right now. Pause the video if you need to, scroll down to the comments section and write this phrase, "In 2026, I am becoming prosperous." And if you want to add anything else, please do. Tell us which plant you're most excited about. Share what you're hoping to manifest in 2026. Tell us where you're watching from. The more you engage, the more you're amplifying your intention. And when you see other people's comments saying the same thing, take a second to send them good vibes too. Leave a reply, wish them well, because prosperity isn't a competition. There's enough for everyone. When we support each other's success, we actually increase the flow of abundance for all of us. All right, let's do a quick recap of everything we've covered today, because this has been a lot of information, and I want to make sure the key points really stick with you. Number 1, 2026 is a once-in-12 years peak for prosperity energy. The cosmic alignment of Jupiter and Saturn is creating incredible opportunities for financial growth and stability. This is the year to be preparing for, the year to be positioning yourself for. Number 2, your entryway is the most important space in your home when it comes to attracting prosperity. It's the gateway through which all good fortune must enter. If your entryway is blocked, cluttered, or energetically stagnant, you're limiting how much abundance can come into your life. Number 3, living plants are powerful tools for transforming your entryway into a prosperity magnet. They purify the energy, they generate life force, they symbolize growth and abundance, and they create a welcoming environment for good fortune. Number 4, we discussed 6 specific plants that are particularly powerful for 2026. The money tree, with its hand-shaped leaves that gather wealth from all directions. The ficus, with its harmonious energy and connection to good luck. The snake plant, with its purifying power and upward-reaching growth. The dracaena, the happiness tree that channels prosperity energy throughout your home. The table fern, with its protective qualities and multiplication symbolism. And the maidenhair fern, which nurtures the relationships and emotional well-being that support true abundance. Number 5, the most important factor isn't which plant you choose or exactly where you put it. The most important factor is your intention and the care you give to your plants. When you tend your plants with love and speak to them with gratitude, you're creating a powerful energetic loop that attracts prosperity into your life. Number 6, we learned a special visualization practice that creates an energetic bond between you and your plants. This practice aligns your personal energy with the prosperity drawing power of the plants and opens channels for abundance to flow. And number 7, action is essential. All the knowledge in the world won't help you if you don't actually do something with it. Today, take at least one concrete step toward bringing prosperity plants into your entryway. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't already. It really does help the channel reach more people who could benefit from this information. And if that special hype button appeared for you, definitely click it. Consider it your cosmic lucky break for today. If you're not already subscribed to Grandmaster LINFENGSHUI, please subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. We're going to be diving deep into more prosperity practices, more Feng Shui wisdom, more ways to use plants and natural elements to transform your life and your finances. We have some amazing content coming up in the next few weeks. We're going to talk about crystals and how to combine them with plants for even more powerful effects. We're going to explore moon cycles and the best times to plant and repot for maximum prosperity. We are going to look at other areas of your home beyond the entryway and how to optimize them for different types of abundance. You definitely don't want to miss any of that, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And remember, go down to the comments right now and write, "In 2026, I am becoming prosperous." Make that declaration, put it out into the universe. Claim your prosperity. It's waiting for you. You just have to reach out and take it. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. The fact that you watched all the way to the end tells me that you're serious about creating change in your life. You're not just a passive consumer of content. You're someone who's actively seeking to grow, to improve, to create a better future for yourself. That quality, that drive, that willingness to learn and take action, that's what separates people who succeed from people who stay stuck. You have what it takes, I can tell, and 2026 is going to be your year to prove it. Your prosperity journey is just beginning. Your plants are going to be your companions on that journey, your allies, your silent partners in creating the abundant life you deserve. So go out there and get started. Find your plant, bring it home, put it in your entryway, talk to it every day, care for it with intention, and watch as your life begins to shift in beautiful, unexpected ways. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, here's to your prosperity, your growth, and your magnificent, abundant future. You've got this. I believe in you. Now go make 2026 the best year of your life. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Grandmaster LINFENGSHUI, reminding you that abundance is your birthright and prosperity is your natural state. All you have to do is open the door and let it in. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon.